Hello, it's Mason and Meyer here talking about how to annotate a entrepreneurship source paper. So, in this we're going to get into my particular way of annotating, especially when using an online platform. So basically I just highlight and use notes mostly. So the article we have here is the role and importance of the business plan in starting and running a business opportunity. So right out of the bat, the title is a very important part of the paper. It explains what's going to be in the paper. It explains pretty much, what you're looking for. So, you always want to keep your eye out for the title, but it's not something you have to highlight or anything. It's in big bold letters, so, it should be clear. Then here we have the abstract, and the abstract is pretty cool. It's basically a summary of what the paper is and what its purpose is. So yeah, it's a good thing to keep in mind. I just highlighted it to, show you guys. Keywords are a useful thing to put up there just because if you want to touch up on your background information, you can. If you don't know what a word means, you could look it up before you get into the article. Getting into it, I started by highlighting my section titles, like this one, defining business plan, in this magenta color. I did this because these are important to tell you what you're reading. So here in green we have main ideas. There are a couple more sentences in green that aren't exactly main ideas. See, I just kind of ran out of colors. There were only 4 to choose from. So here we have an important sentence. So as you could read there, I took my notes and I kind of summed it up the way I liked it. And that's something that's very important for you to do when annotating. Is if you want a certain definition of it, write it down. In this blue color, we just have background information that's important, but it's not a main idea. It's not the topic of discussion. But it's something to keep in mind. So as you can see here, we get a couple more main ideas. Another important sentence. So this sentence in yellows, the note I wrote is, this is a plan to follow, not a pitch to get investors. So I kind of summed up what I understood from that and just wrote it down to use for later. So here we have another main idea. And I wouldn't say main idea per se, but important ideas of the paragraph. So here we have another thing highlighted in yellow. Any business plan supposes a specific sequence of operations. I highlighted that because this is what these bullet points are, and then I highlighted the bullet points so I know to go back and look at that paragraph and understand what I'm reading. So as we get on to it, see, this is one of those situations where I just used the green because there were no other colors. I could have underlined, I could have circled. There's a lot of other things you can do. So we get deeper into it, and then we get down here. Here I started to underline the mistakes I saw because I saw quite a few mistakes, and I just wanted to do this to show that these are things to look out for in papers. Maybe it's a mistake, just editorial. Maybe it's a mistake through the publisher, or it could just be a way of defining the accuracy of the paper as inaccurate. Or even in this case, it could have just been a simple translation. It talks about translating business plans in the paper and all stuff like that. And I highlighted all that because it was very important information. But So that's why I underlined the mistakes that they made. So as we get further, we see another section starts. We underlined it or highlighted it in magenta, and then we got, you know, a couple more main ideas, a couple more points. Oh, okay, I understand. Okay, so down here I underlined in addition, just because there was no space between the period and addition. Here, there's no space between the comma and thousands. There's no comma between thousands and or. So it's just like simple mistakes that should be caught, that are underlined. Here, I like to highlight that because I found this to be a very important thing that I should keep in my mind. The detailed plan contains a minimum of 50 pages, and I just thought that was something that stood out to me, so I underlined it, or I highlighted it. Excuse me. And I didn't get all the way through, but that is how I annotate. Thank you very much.